This film is sponsored by New York Life and its dedicated agents, proud sponsors of NFL team highlight films. New York Life, the company you keep.
Go Cardinals!
In 1995, the Super Bowl came to Arizona. But like 27 other teams, the Cardinals needed a ticket to see it.
Oh, say, can you see?
Arizona's dream of becoming the first team to play at home in a Super Bowl was just that, a dream. A season that was supposed to produce a turnaround turned upside down. Losses in 7 of the Cardinals' last 8 games proved they were built on a fragile foundation. The Cardinals tried to ride out their stormy voyage. They searched for a sturdy foothold, but never quite found steady ground. What Arizona needed was a leader with a strong sense of direction. At the end of a 4-12 season, the Cardinals buried their heads. They went back to the drawing board and hired a new head coach.
Never gone into a game, didn't think that we could win. I've never gone into a season, didn't think we could have a winning season, and I don't look at it any different here.
Vince Tobin has been a professional defensive coordinator for 18 seasons. His teams produced non-losing records for all but 2 of those years. In 1986, he tutored a Bear defense that set an NFL record for fewest points in a season. In 1995, Tobin helped the Colts advance to the AFC Championship.
I'm very optimistic that we're going to try to get the most out of the players that we got, and we're looking forward to going.
Tobin intends to teach the Cardinals how to win, to show them what it takes to cross the border into excellence, to bring an end to Arizona's desert storm. With an 8-8 record in 1994, the Cardinals felt optimistic they would have their day in the sun. But in 1995, Arizona never saw the light at the end of the tunnel.
I didn't think the roster was as bare as what the record maybe indicated. I mean, they were almost dead last in offense, or almost dead last in the most defensive statistics, special team statistics, and I'm not sure they're that bad a football team. The cupboard wasn't bare when we got here. We got some quality people, and the main thing that we've got to do with this offensive football team is get them believing that we can move the football, that we can score. We get down in the red zone, that we're going to come away with some points. And that was a big glaring weakness last year, and I think this year is something that we've really got to concentrate on.
Without strong leaders, a team will not develop a collective personality. It will be utterly without character. It won't be a team at all, just a collection of players. In the opening drive of their first game, the Cardinals appeared to be a team with a sense of unity and purpose. But when they reached scoring range, the offense self-destructed. That ugly omen spawned a forgettable season. Arizona's offense was erratic and uncertain. Its defense allowed big plays. The Cardinals ranked last in the league against the run. They gave up 9 plays of 50 yards or more, including a naked bootleg, the longest touchdown run by a quarterback in NFL history.
Tough break for the Arizona Cardinals. They brought the blitz. You live and die by the blitz.
While the defense had lost its winning rhythm, one beat remained. Arizona remembered how to hit. In 1995, the Cardinals led the league with 42 takeaways. they consistently knocked the ball loose and recovered 23 fumbles. Arizona swiped 19 passes.
That's why this defense is so successful. They get the turnovers.
Humphries looking left, the pass batted, intercepted by Clyde Simmons. He's at the 15, fights off Humphries and scores! Touchdown, Arizona Cardinals!
Tim, he just shoved Humphries. He kept him at bay, and Humphries didn't want anything to do with it.
Takeaways look great in the highlights, but don't really mean much unless games are won. Against Detroit, 2 forced fumbles were the key to Arizona's first victory. Barry Sanders' first 2 fumbles and over 800 touches of the ball opened the door for the Cardinals' first victory. Trailing 17-12 in the fourth quarter, the game-winning score came down to a pass on 4th and 10.
This could be your ball game here. He's throwing toward the goal line. The ball is caught. Touchdown, Arizona Cardinals! Anthony Edwards! Good golly, Miss Molly. When you need it, Anthony Edwards steps up to the big play once again.
It would take nearly a month for the Cardinals to win again. Their second victory of 1995 came before the home crowd.
3rd and 5, the blitz is on. Farrat gets it off, intercepted by Aeneas Williams, and this could be a touchdown. Aeneas Williams into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona Cardinals.
All-Pro Aeneas Williams' first interception of 1995 gave Arizona an early lead. The offense held the ball for over 9 minutes in the third quarter and capped a 13-play, 85-yard drive with a score by Pro Bowler Larry Centers. The Cardinals' third Pro Bowl player, Eric Swan, anchored a resurgent defense that held Washington to 42 yards rushing. 5 times the lead changed hands. Arizona lost many close games in 1995, but being close on the scoreboard was of no consolation. Being close didn't show how far the Cardinals had come, only how far they had to go. Arizona was determined not to fall short. Trailing by 3 points in the fourth quarter, rookie Frank Sanders left the Cardinals 1 yard shy of victory.
1:25 left to go. Craig fakes the give, looking for the pass in the end zone. First has it. Touchdown, Arizona Cardinals.
Arizona took many games down to the wire. 4 contests were decided in overtime. Early in the season, the Cardinals complained about a lack of luck. Against Seattle, all the breaks went their way. Rob Moore's sideline toe dance counted for 6. The Cardinals made it 14-0 when good fortune once again fell into their lap.
Meyer to throw, pressure's on, middle screen, intercepted. Michael Bankston at the 30, at the 25, breaks free, at the 10, at the 5, he fumbles, it's scooped up by Keith McCants for a touchdown.
What a play by the Arizona Cardinals. When you just least expect that they find a way to score.
In the fourth quarter, Seattle tied the score. But what could have become the Seahawks' winning points instead turned into another unexpected chance for the Cardinals. Williams recovered the fumble in the end zone for a touchback. In overtime, the defense forced its 7th turnover of the game.
Freeze back to throw. Good protection. His pass intercepted. Lorenzo Lynch down the far sideline. And he's going to go, it would appear, for the game-winning touchdown. Lorenzo Lynch will score, and the Cardinals will win it.
Jim, I can't believe it. What else could happen in this football game, Jim?
Charlie Mismoli, a 75-yard game-winning interception return for a touchdown.
Lorenzo Lynch's touchdown was the longest overtime interception return in NFL history. A team that had been lost in a desert storm was beginning to find its way. The only thing Arizona stood for in Carolina was the national anthem. It was perhaps the low point of a long season. The Cardinals suffered their worst offensive output in 40 years. They were shut down by an expansion team. Arizona had become the team other bad teams search out for relief. It was time to return to the basics.
A lot of receivers gonna be getting knocked out. They got that chuck and duck offense. All we try to do is knock them out to slow them down. Yeah, knock them out.
The Cardinals landed a few good combination blows, but failed to knock Atlanta out. The Falcons scored the game's first 3 touchdowns, but Arizona's youthful offense came of age.
Break the throw, looking for the end zone. Rockmore has it. Touchdown, Arizona Cardinals. Craig looking to throw again. He goes to the corner. Anthony Edwards has it. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona Cardinals.
The Cardinals exploded with 513 yards in total offense, their highest output in 7 years. One touchdown drive went the distance.
99 yards. It's a lot of damn territory, ain't it? We did it. Watch the next one, though.
The punting team was one unit that didn't disappoint in 1995. Jeff Eagles made the Pro Bowl by finishing 3rd in the NFL in net punting average. Arizona ranked 6th in punt coverage. When Atlanta muffed a punt, the Cardinals turned the fumble into what would have been the tying touchdown. But NFL rules forbid a muffed punt to be advanced.
Let's go. Come on, baby. Come on.
Arizona still managed to tie the game at 37-all.
The end zone, touchdown, Arizona Cardinals. Tight end Oscar McBride. So both teams have battled their hearts out today. It's a bitterly disappointing defeat for whichever team drops this one.
Seth Joyner put the Cardinals in position to pull off a fantastic finish.
Steps up in the pocket, intercepted.
That's the one thing about this defense that's so exciting. They fake play. You know, a lot of people think that this team has given up. I'll tell you what, that defense has not given up.
Arizona could win on the last play of regulation.
The snap, the set, the kick is on its way, and the kick is no good. The kick is no good. It looked like it was short.
Well, Tim, right now in this situation, I think I said it before the game, we're going to find out what the Cardinals are made of. It's time.
For their 3rd home game in a row, the Cardinals were headed for overtime. But this time, sudden death ended quickly.
Krasinski bobbles the ball. Now he's got to get away. It's loose on the ground. It's a fumble, and the Cardinals are going to get it. The Cardinals are going to get the football at the 9-yard line. 1st and goal.
Now it's time.
Kicker Greg Davis atoned for his previous miss.
Set, kick is up, and it's good, and the Cardinals have won it.
This ball game is over.
What a game for these fans to witness today.
I told you to watch the next play. You see what happened? They thought they could beat us because we was at the bottom, but sometimes the low man let his totem pole get a victory.
In today's age of free agency, it's hard for a team to keep players until they mature into stars. Tougher still is holding on to your best players. Arizona is committed to doing both.
Cardinals are a team that's looking to the future, that we're not going to let our top football players leave here, that we're going to try to keep our best players together, we're going to put players around them, and that we're going to do everything possible to have a good football team. In order to win consistently in this league, you've got to hold the scores down, you got to stay in the ball game until the fourth quarter, and then you get a chance.
Arizona's defense showed tremendous improvement near the end of 1995. 5 of the last 7 opponents were held under 100 yards rushing. Long gains were kept to a minimum, and as always, the defense never met a ball carrier it couldn't strip. There's a lot to build on for 1996.
Okay, David, with our 4-3 defense this year, we've got the makings of a good defense because we got people in key spots. Eric Swan at our left tackle, the guy that can give us some disruption on the offensive line.
With Swan in here, this gives us a good chance, to play him and be able to dominate a man in front of him because obviously, he's a good change of direction guy.
One thing that we can do with Eric, as I said, we could play him at left tackle, we could move him to end, we might be able to overshift the line one way or the other where we'd get an odd front to cause teams some problems.
Eric Swan caused opponents many problems in 1995. His 39 solo tackles, 15 of which were for a loss, included 8.5 quarterback sacks, a career best. Despite missing 4 games with a knee injury, Swan still became the first Cardinal defensive lineman to earn a Pro Bowl berth since 1968.
In order to be able to play at 4-3, you got to be able to have an excellent middle linebacker. Eric Hill can give us not only fill the middle, but he can pursue from sideline to sideline.
Once we're playing our good aggressive base defense, then he's a guy that's got enough speed, has got enough power coming downhill to force things.
Eric Hill was definitely the man in the middle in 1995. He led the Cardinals with 88 solo tackles, nearly double the amount of his closest teammate. In all, he logged 136 takedowns and 2 sacks. With Hill, Arizona has a lot of versatility.
We can play the zones back here, and then also with Aeneas, obviously then we're going to be able to roll and we're going to be able to kick up and do some things because Aeneas, I think with what I've seen, can obviously match up against just nearly anybody in this league that we put him against.
Aeneas Williams landed his 2nd consecutive Pro Bowl selection with a career-high 46.5 solo tackles. He's established himself as one of the league's premier cover men.
Looking left, intercepted by Aeneas Williams. He may go.
In 1995, Williams scored 3 touchdowns.
Touchdown, Arizona Cardinals.
We're going to be aggressive and we're going to be attacking, and we're also going to be very innovative in the things we do, so they have to prepare for us.
The exciting thing about the Cardinals when I took this job was even though they hadn't had a lot of success offensively, I felt like their skilled people were people that we could really win with.
Perhaps the most pleasant surprise in 1995 was the big playability shown by rookie Frank Sanders.
Frank Sanders, we'd like to use him in the slot, motion him back and forth, and make him kind of a vertical pass catcher for us.
Sanders snagged 52 passes for nearly 900 yards. His 17-yard average per catch was 2nd in the NFC. With his running ability, 15 catches went 25 yards or more. Sanders was a long ball threat. His pass-catching skills blended perfectly with Arizona's other first-year receiver.
With Rob Moore, I think we can take his size and his strength and use him working the middle area right in here with his size. He's an easy target to find.
Arizona traded for Rob Moore to fill the role of a possession receiver. In his first season as a Cardinal, Moore hauled in 63 passes for 907 yards. He led Arizona with 5 touchdown receptions.
One of the things we need to do is come off the ball quicker and let the quickness of our backs fitting on the linebackers will enhance our run game.
Garrison Hurst made the most out of his first healthy professional season. He became only the 6th Cardinal running back in team history to crack the 1,000-yard barrier. Although he piled up the yards, Hurst earned the dubious distinction of becoming the first back in NFL history to score only one rushing touchdown during a 1,000-yard season. Arizona expects more from Hurst in 1996.
I think he can be an excellent two-back attack where he can run routes plus he can block. If we want to keep Garrison Hurst in to balance us up, obviously like you talked about, we need to be able to incorporate Larry Centers back into the pass game like they used him.
Larry Centers stole the spotlight in 1995, enhancing his reputation as the game's finest third down back. Besides leading the NFL with 33 third down receptions, Centers set a new standard in the last game of the regular season.
Break to throw, steps up, fires over the far side. Centers has it at the 30, at the 20, leaps over a defender at the 15.
And you can hear
the Cowboy fans are applauding that one here.
How can't you?
During the Cardinals' first Monday night game since 1988, Centers became the first running back in league history to catch over 100 passes in a season. Centers finished 1995 with 101 receptions, but it was his tackle-breaking, never-say-die swagger that earned him a starting role in the Pro Bowl. Centers provided a 1-2 punch all of his own, solidifying him as the fan favorite in Phoenix.
Simple, just get it to Larry Centers and let him score.
The clouds have vanished from 1995's Desert Storm.
Come on, man, play some damn football around here. We're in our backyard, I'll be damned if I'm gonna be embarrassed today. Go. Big red, 1, 2, 3.
A new season brings a new ray of hope, a promise that 1996 will be the year the Cardinals create their own Desert Storm. Arizona remains by and large a puzzle which has yet to be assembled. It's a franchise that didn't just get some new blood. The Cardinals have a new heart. Tackle Lomas Brown was signed to secure the offensive line. Arizona also improved at the quarterback position. Boomer Esiason, the most prolific left-handed quarterback in league history, brings Super Bowl experience to the Cardinals. In his 4 years in the NFL, Kent Graham has shown he has one of the league's strongest arms. Even great talent can be wasted when the rage, the will to win, weaken. Stoking the fire of desire and making sure there's a sense of unity are the tasks of a team's leader.
We're in this thing for the long haul. There'll be some ups and downs, but we plan on getting this program going.
Arizona has courted disappointment more often than it's flirted with success. But all that should change when the Cardinals create their own Desert Storm.